Hi everybody, welcome to another Chats with Chowdhury. Today it's going to be slightly different because we're going to be talking about events, and I'm joined by Jessica Thomson, who is the Head of Production, Operations and Delivery at Oxford Global Conferences, and we're going to be talking about their forthcoming Immuno Series UK Virtual Conference. Oh, it's Immuno Oncology, isn't it really? Which will be on next week. So hi Jessica, lovely to meet you.
Hi, Rizwan. Really lovely to meet you too.
Well, it's great to see you. Now, before we start talking about the event next week, I think it'd be useful for viewers to get a bit of an understanding of what Oxford Global actually do and your role within that.
Yeah, sure. So to start with Oxford Global, we're a conference production company. So we've been putting together congresses and summits, specifically in the life sciences industry for about 13 years now. And so what we try and do is focus on connecting really senior level industry experts and solution providers and just giving them opportunities to partner and knowledge share across the year. So for my role, I joined the company around 4 years ago now. So I came in straight after my master's degree as a production and marketing assistant, swiftly discovered that I much preferred the production side to the marketing. And then from that point onwards, really progressed in various roles in the production team, ending up in my position now. So alongside being the head of production operations and delivery, sorry, a bit of a mouthful. I also lead the production of 3 of our event series, one of which is that Immuno Series, which is happening next week.
Brilliant. Now, I know that Oxford Global, one of the very first conference companies, certainly within life science that I know of, who pivoted very early from live events to virtual conferences when COVID-19 hit and everybody went into lockdown. So why did you do that? And do you think that's helped you in terms of putting together a better experience for the visitors, the delegates and the exhibitors that you've now got?
Yes, I mean, to start with, we did look at postponing some of our events first, and that's what we did in the case of this immuno-oncology event. Actually, it was originally going to be in May, so initially postponed, and then actually very quickly after that, we made the decision just to turn everything virtual instead as the COVID situation progressed. And definitely, we hope it shows that we had a commitment to continue delivering these knowledge sharing, networking to the industry, albeit in a bit of a different format. And because we pivoted quite early, it meant we could take some time to review options and then come up with a solution that really best fitted both our clients and then our audience's expectations.
Right, because I know, obviously, speaking to a lot of people who have now been attending a lot of virtual events since lockdown, one of the main criticism, I don't know if criticism is the right word, but the concerns they have is that obviously when you're at a live event, as you'll know yourself, a lot of the benefits of being a live event is the networking that you get at those events and meeting people you may not have otherwise met in passing and so on, having a conversation over coffee or whatever it may be. So how have you addressed that as an event organizer with the events that you do?
Yeah, sure. So networking's always been a really big part of our conferences. So it was something when we started first looking at how we were going to do the virtual events, we were really keeping that in mind. And we've tried to sort of come up with a balance of both quite informal networking and then some more sort of formal networking sessions as well. So the platform we use has ways that people can sort of actively go out and network themselves, so they can see the other attendees, can send them a private message on the platform and sort of start conversations that way. But obviously not everyone sort of wants to go out and sort of actively find people. They want something a bit more sort of organic. And what we've done for that really is put together sort of discussion sessions on the program. So roundtables, panel discussions, even some speed networking, where what we're trying to do is bring together a group of sort of like-minded experts in the space and let them have conversations that way.
Brilliant. And so, I mean, I've been fortunate to attend a couple of your events over the last couple of months, and they are very interactive. And I know you have had reasonable numbers. So, how have you found attendances for those events compared to your live events, both in terms of not just registrations, but actually people attending on the day? And how are you seeing attendance for the next week's event as well?
Yeah, so when we started looking at the virtual events, because obviously they can sort of appeal to a more global audience, we did up the amount of delegates we were expecting to attend, just because it's a lot more attainable for people as opposed to obviously no travel involved.
Sure.
So we are seeing more attendees than we would usually at our physical events, and we've actually had a really nice conversion of, often with virtual events, you don't always know if people will show up on the day because they haven't had to travel there, but we've had a really good good amount of our attendees show up and really engage for a long time on the virtual platform as well, not just sort of popping in and then leaving quite quickly. In terms of the event next week, so we're expecting over 500 attendees for the Immuno Series, but what we've actually done with this conference is we've co-located with it with another of our sort of big events, our biologic series.
Right.
So it's sort of a whole week of event where the exhibition and networking is open across the week, and then the live programs are sort of separated into 2 different sections. And that event has a further sort of 600 attendees. So we could be reaching sort of over 1,000 for the combined audiences.
That's really good actually for a virtual event, I think. What are there any particular sessions that you're particularly looking forward to next week at the conference?
Yeah, I mean, I've been putting this program together since October, so it's been a long time in the making. It's going to be really nice seeing some of those sort of sessions now actually happen. We've got some really great keynotes. So we've got an update, for example, on day 2 from Cancer Research UK, which I'm really looking forward to. We've got another keynote from Regeneron Pharmaceuticals, which I'm again looking forward to. Alongside that, I really like all of our panels and roundtables. We've got a lot of them. This event is going to be quite busy. I think we've got about 20, mainly roundtables, but then those panel discussions too that always have some lively discussion. And then for me personally, I'm really keen to promote more women in science. Sometimes life science conferences are a bit more male oriented in their speaker numbers. So to do that this year, we launched a Women in Immunology Symposium as part of the program. So that's trying really to have a platform to showcase sort of the research done by female academics, and then also some from industry in the immunology space as well. Yeah, and the only other thing to mention actually is we added another event to this series this year. So whilst the main focus has always been immuno-oncology, we have an autoimmunity and immunology part of the meeting too as well, which will be great to see for the first time.
I'm glad you're saying that, because I'd always stumble over those words. So
the women in immunology is the worst one to say out loud.
So the other thing I was going to ask you is that obviously we talked about the sessions, and obviously you've got a lot of presentations. So what else can people do now? I mean, I know you've touched upon it a little bit in terms of what you're doing with the events, but what else can people do if they sign up to next week's event?
Yeah, sure. So alongside the presentations, we also have an exhibition hall on our virtual platform. So that has around, I think, more than 30 sponsor booths that attendees can visit across the 2 days, have a look at the range of resources our sponsor provided for them. So our sponsors have uploaded lots of videos and different resources on their booths.
Can I ask, is that interactive as well, or is it just content that you have there?
Yeah, no, so they can also have chats with the sponsors there. They can also, our sponsors schedule meetings across the day normally where people can sort of drop in and answer questions and things like that.
Right.
We've also actually got a separate resource center, which is a bit less interactive. That's where we sort of fill all our posters, our white papers that people can go and have a look at in their own time. And then, as you sort of said before, one of the things about our in-person events that people really like is networking. So just trying to maximize that across the event, either sort of formally or in sort of informal discussions.
And how does the roundtables work at the event?
Yeah, sure. So there's a space on our platform which allows both a moderator to sort of share slides and kickstart a discussion that way, but they also can have audio and webcams. So you can have up to sort of 30 people that are all sort of chatting and can have a really nice conversation amongst each other, which is always really nice to hear.
Fantastic. All right, look, well, I won't keep you much longer now, because I know you're right in the middle of preparing for next week's event, and there's a lot to do, I'm sure. So, but one final question for you is that, obviously, looking ahead to 2021, obviously there's still a lot of uncertainty about live events. I know in the UK, live events can officially start running from October onwards, but I know there's a lot of uncertainty, and also I know a lot of visitors and delegates will be nervous, as will sponsors and exhibitors as well, to commit to live events. So what are Oxford Global doing or planning for next year in terms of the events that you are doing, in terms of, is it going to be a hybrid? Are you looking to do just virtual? What are you looking to do going forward?
Yeah, sure. Because I mean, obviously since lockdown, there's been a sort of an explosion of virtual events for people to attend. Companies all shifted their communication from the in-person live events to digital. And what we're really trying to do is help out the community in working out what's sort of the best way forward and what's most beneficial for them. So one of the ways we've done that actually is just this week we launched a survey for life science companies to try and find out what they think are the most challenging aspects of participating in these events that are hosted on a digital platform, and trying to generate positive outcomes. So trying to collate their insights so we can help in the digital events we do deliver. But actually, personally speaking, what I've seen is that the industry as a whole is quite excited to return to in-person
100%,
events.
yeah.
So I think going forward, we as a company are really aiming to try and offer the community best of both environments. So having our in-person events hopefully return in 2021, but also still supporting those with the digital activities.
Brilliant. Well, look, thank you very much for your time. As I said, I know you're very busy, so thanks for taking time to do this. I hope everybody found that useful. If you'd like to know more about the Immuno series and the Biologics series, which are both on next week, there are links to those events above this video, which you can click on. And also, if you've got any questions for Jessica specifically, then I'm sure she'll be happy to answer them. So you can message her directly, or you can actually put them in the comments box below the video. So all that's definitely says thank you very much, Jessica, for your time. I appreciate it. And I hope you all found it useful. Thank you for watching. And until next time, as always, stay well and stay safe. Bye.